Coming up on the next episode. Good Friday afternoon to you all, YouTube. Here with you on the desk project, bench project, whatever you want to call it. You can see I do have the first board mounted there. I will get up from my chair and show you a little bit better, but I wanted to show you basically, there's the one that's going to go on top. Now this one will go basically this way, and that will hold it out from the wall a little bit, but that will be where I mount my pegboard to, and that board as well. So there's only 4 screws in it. Now, I made the mistake. I thought I had plenty of screws the right size for this, but I have the shorter ones, and the shorter ones is what I'm using on the back side, and we'll look at that in just a second. But anyway, that's I just kind of want to point that out. I'm basically robbing screws out of my other construction in the other room, the ones of the proper size, and I'll have to do 4 more. And once I do that, hopefully I can get another box of screws by then and be able to continue. But let me show you the other side here. Alright, before we look at the bottom, there's your look at this. You can see that straightened that right out. Basically I put a screw here, a screw on this side of the crack, and then once I did that, I put the screws in the last 2 sections, drawing them up where they all lined up the same way on the bottom. So that does that. Now that's going to be doing a pretty good job of this side, but now for the other side, this is the board I have there. This is the 1x3 that's chopped off of the piece that will go up there on that one, and that's the leftover, and there will be another piece on the other side when I get to the other side. Hopefully I'm going to get that today. As you can see, again, I'm using these shorter screws, this size here, and these go into the board and go into the top section. Now the top section, you want to be careful, obviously, not to drill too far. And I've got my drill bit marked on the limit. See that black mark, I think, on there. And that's as far as I go in. That way it doesn't go through the top, because these screws are not long enough to go through all the way, but yet the drill bit is. So, and also, I don't know if you noticed, but I've got 3 on this side, and I've only got 2 on that side. Now the way this is working, on this end here, will be supported by one of the drawer ends, the ends with the drawers in them, and that will be obviously needing no more support. Here's the support part right here, this obviously crack here, and as the way it's going to work, the support will come from this side, and I figured it would be better to put the majority of the supporting part of it on this side, and this side's just not going to do much. Probably could have got away without even screws at all, but I went ahead and put a couple in just to make sure that it will stay together. And it's in pretty good shape right now. It stays together pretty good. Of course, the true test will be when I go to work on the other side. We'll see how well this stays together. I think it'll be alright though. And this end here, you can see now that's got enough of a hangover or lip, whatever you want to call it, to catch onto the drawer end. And there will be some L brackets screwed into that as well. Now I have thought about taking those 2 end pieces off to allow the drawer under there a little bit further. That's a possibility yet. I don't know. We'll see. Excuse me. But anywho, that's what I'm doing. So we'll get into that when we get to that part. If I think it'll work out better, I may do that. I don't have to have every inch of space, that's going to allow. I want as much as possible, obviously, but I'll have quite a bit. So anywho, I probably will put 2 more screws in there yet. I just wanted something to hold it together so I could go ahead and start working on the other side. I want to put this other board on first, this last board on the top, and that's going to be glued as well. Now the rest of these are not glued, they're just screwed in. And I want it so it'll come apart if I have to. Like I said, the one I'm not going to worry about too much is the top one. It can stay on there. It doesn't have to be able to be taken off. So, anywho, that's that. Thought I would bring you back for a little bit of an update, so we'll see what else I can get done, and I'll bring you back again. I'm back once again this afternoon, YouTube. I'm not really sure what time it is. I guess I can check that. Looks like 2:33 now in the afternoon. I am back on the, as you can see, I do have the other end on now. I managed to get the piece of the other piece of the dowel pin out and put the new one in. So it has 3 good dowel pins in it. So that's good. And I got the U-bolts in, Y-bolts, whatever you call them things. So also I got the other piece on top, the 1x3, and that's all set up, ready to go now. I don't have it glued, but I have, I think, 6 screws in it. And I will remove the screws and then go back and put a bead of glue down through there and then re-screw it on. That will hold that rather well, I think. So again, what I've got to do now is the same thing I did to that side to this side. And once I get that done, this thing will be pretty steady. Pretty steady, I think. So again, that's the plan. And I'm taking a little break now because this thing is not real easy to wrestle around, especially after you add more parts to it, like the boards. Not to add a lot of weight, but you know what I'm saying, every little bit helps, or contributes, I guess I should say. This part went easier than I thought. I just took the board here that I've got my foot on and put that in the seam so that the 2 ends would line up, or the middle and the end, I should say, lined up alright. And then I took my hammer and tapped it in lightly. Once it's tapped in, then you take the Y-bolts and adjust them out a little bit and put them in there and draw it up. And that works out rather well. So, happy about that. Let's take a look at the other side. It's a little on the precarious side. I've got the chair in between this and the end. The end's probably stable enough we can hold it up by itself, but rather than drag the end over, I just thought it was easier to just grab that chair and put that in between it. But it's steady enough. You can see the joint there. Looks fine. And again, it'll be even finer once I get the other window. No curtains are up there. It makes it bright. That's going to do that. No bow in this one, doesn't look like, so like I said, that's good. Good evening, YouTube. Here it is on this Friday evening, 7:10. A little bit tired. As you can see, I think plainly, that piece has been installed. Top piece, whatever you want to call that, back piece, also has been installed. Probably not as many screws as I'd like to put in it yet, but it is there. The top piece I just got done doing. My batteries gave out on the cordless drill and screwdriver, and the other one's in the other room charging up. So I had to get out my corded drill. I was going to wait until the morning. I thought, well, what the heck, I might as well get this done. I only had like 2 or 3 screws left to put in this bottom piece, and then drill and screw the top piece on that back piece there. So that was all I really needed to do, and got this completely done. This is what I'm going to call phase 1 of the project. Now I may at some time in the future put another flat board up there. I've got plenty of that 1x4 left to do that, and I'd have to make my cuts a little bit different to get it in there, but not a big deal. I'm trying my best to get this to where there's nothing can fall off this table. bench. I've got another idea for the front edge to do that, and we'll see how that turns out as well. But so that's a couple of things I've got going on. That's later on. That's not important right now. I just wanted to get this all done. Phase 2 will be moving the pegboard in. The pegboard has to be completely emptied, and the top shelf has to be cleared off. It is a little bit heavy, and it obviously is bolted, or not bolted, but screwed to the back of the desk bench in there, and that will have to be modified somewhat to fit this one, but I'd like to get that in here if I could. For one thing, it's lighting. For another thing, it's a place for my tools. And of course the variac, the multi-function device, is that it? MFD? I've forgot the wording or the acronym for it, so I don't anyway, I just wanted to kind of show you over this. We'll go over the top here and look. I'm just resting at the moment because there were several times that I couldn't do this sitting down, and I prefer sitting down doing it, but you know, there are some places on here that just require it to be standing up. That top screw was one of them, and so I got that done. This one, obviously you can see the way it butts up there against that one. Not quite as long on that side, but I still think it'll work just fine. I really don't think, there's still 3 screws in this side and 2 in that one, so I think that'll be fine. Not a problem. Of course, the outside one is the stiffer. It's going to be the stiffer of the two. You get more support out there than you will on this, because for one thing it's flat, and the boards on their ends like that will give a better, because they have more area, it will give more support. So, all right, let me get up here and show you some other stuff. All right, well, there's a look at this side of it, and again, let me get on this side, maybe get a little better picture of it. Now, obviously, that's eventually going to go up against the wall, both sides, but right now I'm going to be putting it out kind of in the middle of the room until I can get that pegboard attached, and then I'm going to look at maybe adding some upright braces to this side for the shelves I have planned. So I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, that's going to do this first phase, and I did get more done today than I thought I would, to tell you the truth. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have my batteries all charged up. Of course, I've got my corded drill, you can see it there, so, and the saw is corded, so I get things done. Anywho, that's the way that works. Alright, I'm going to get off here, and you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya!